I posted several recipes on Google Classroom that are from Italy. This recipe is the Classic Marinara Sauce. You can choose whichever one you want to make, but for the sake of the demonstration and the Google form, I am going to be using Classic Marinara with homemade pasta. So I have my mise en place. I have slivered garlic. This is 6 cloves slivered. When you sliver garlic, you are going to cut from the base of the garlic, which is where you can see I've cut off the rough portion. Sorry, I ran out of room on my camera, so I'm actually having to use my cell phone. Alright, so you can see I cut the base, but we're actually going to cut from the tip to the base to get all these slivers. Okay. I have basil leaves. I have 2 chili peppers. The recipe calls for 1. I think you get a little bit better flavor with 2. I have a 1/4 cup olive oil. And I have canned San Marzano tomatoes. Any type of canned tomato will work. I just happened to purchase these right before we went into our stay-at-home mode because I could not find tomato sauce in the store. And what you're going to do with your canned tomatoes is you're literally just going to take your fingers and you're going to squish them. Okay, this is a little more watery than traditional tomato sauce, but the flavor is a lot better. So I'm just standing here squishing these to get as many of the chunks out as I can. I am wearing a glove for this. If you've got small cuts on your hands, the acidity from the tomato can be really uncomfortable. That's the term we'll use. But I'm just going to stand here and squish these tomatoes until I get the consistency that I want. This is going to be supper for my family, so they really don't care for the large chunks of tomato. So you're just going to make this to your preference. This is very traditional in Italy. I had to kind of laugh. I had somebody I was telling about this recipe once, and he's like, we went all the way to Italy and we took a class to learn how to do this. And here you guys are learning this in school. Alright, so you can see most of the chunks are kind of broken down. They'll break down some more in the pan. Alright. That out. Okay, so once that's done, I am going to put 1/4 cup of olive oil in my saute pan. That's my sink. Alright, so I'm going with about medium heat here. I'm going to let that oil warm up. And then we are going to add our garlic. Okay, so sliver this up really quickly. Okay, so we want to get this kind of sizzling. You're going to let that flavor cook into the oil, and then it will disperse throughout the entire sauce. But you don't want your garlic to brown. So I'm going to bring my heat down. Go ahead and take that lid off. that go. It's good. This is going to be a little warm, so you do want to move quickly. In goes your tomatoes. We do have the 1 cup of water in tomato juice. I have not added that. I usually don't. I like to take a look at it, see how it's cooking. Then I decide, do I want to add that water? Okay. And it is in the can. So I'm going to add a little to thin it down, because that gives me a little I can lose. Okay. Alright, so now we are adding 2 chili pods. I'm going to go ahead and put my basil in. Now, it says to use a sprig. The container I bought was more leaves than sprigs. So I'm just going to go ahead, put a few leaves in, and then pick them out later. They are going to wilt down into the sauce. And we're going to let our sauce simmer for about 15 minutes. There comes that simmer. Okay. Now I am going to set a lid on this and let it simmer 15 minutes, and then I shall be back. Okay, so the sauce has been simmering about 15 minutes. You can see it's thickened up. I am going to take a pair of tongs. I am going to take out the basil leaves and the pepper pods. There he is. And now I'm going to add my pasta straight into the sauce. We're not draining it, we're just picking it up and we're adding it straight to the saucepan. That water's got starch in it, so it will thicken everything. Then we can just stir our noodles in and let it cook for a minute, and then they're ready to serve.